A quick disclaimer, you are going to be hearing a dog barking. It's been barking since morning and it is now lunchtime. So I apologize for that. Now, guys, there's something that is bothering me. And I did touch on it. Was that load shedding? What's happening? Okay, it's back. Reality TV. And we still have flu, by the way. And that medication, that Vicks VapoRub, it's not cheap. Oh, it's not cheap, but it does a brilliant job, though. If you ever have a dry, wet cough, try it. Not sponsored. Okay, guys, I touched on this in my previous, I think it was a live on Sunday, where I took a moment to say something about Pagelum Tagati and how I think he needs to be careful because people like him, they pose a huge problem to the powers that be, especially the powers that are eating from our struggle. Us being oppressed and suppressed, there are people that are benefiting from that. And then when Pagelum Tagati Nongizwe Mchunu, Jacinta Ngobese Zuma, and all the other guys, when they come forward, they pose a threat to that income, to them living a lavish lifestyle at the expense of the population. Simply because the population, as I have said, the education system was dumbed down so that we tolerate everything. We don't see everything. And most importantly, we don't question everything. So I said in my life, they are studying him. They are definitely studying him. And they are looking for strategies on how to either tame him, where suddenly you don't hear anything anymore from him, together with his crew, through either they give him, let's say, 100 million rand. They say, this should take care of you and your generations to come. So what you do is just shut up, let us continue to go pillage African countries, steal from the African countries, because the reason why they are here is because we are busy graping their land back home and enriching ourselves and setting ourselves up and our children and they 4 generations to live comfortably. Because that's what this is all about. All of this is about that our politicians and some rich people in our society, they are in Africa, they are in the Congo, they are in Ghana, they are in Nigeria, they are all over where there are natural resources. And they are not following the laws of those countries on how to invest there, how to dig up gold or how to suck up oil, how to all that stuff, mine, whatever the case might be. And you have some inside here in South Africa that have hired people to go into the old gold mines. Yeah, the Zamazamas. And you touch the Zamazamas, you are touching somebody in Lutuli House. If you're not touching somebody in Lutuli House, you are touching a businessman somewhere in this country. SARS doesn't ask question where this money is coming from. They look the other way. Powerful people. So what Pagelum Tagati, Ngizwe Mchunu, Jacinta Ngobese Zuma, everybody that is doing this, they're opposing that threat. So what they do, they are going to use the big money by doing what? Hiring maybe psychologists, like those nefarious psychologists, because they are there, they exist. They are the ones that the ANC, for example, hires every elections, because in every 5 years we change. We are not the same people who we were 5 years ago. So what the psychologist does, paid tens of millions of dollars, not rands, dollars. They stay in South Africa for 2 years prior to the elections and they study us. They study us about how we feel about the current government. They study us about politics, how we feel about politics, how we feel about investors, how we feel about illegal foreigners, how we feel about unemployment, how we feel about housing, how we feel about geopolitics, and things like that. So what they do, they compile a report that has a strategy that the ANC is going to use on us. Hence, the ANC, including the DA, by the way, including the DA, then they campaign according to that report. One little line, one sentence, do this, and then they implement that. And that is why the ANC continues to win elections. The DA always number 2 after the ANC. So Phakelo Mthakathi is probably a study right now. If that study is not concluded, okay, something's going on with the electricity. But anyways, this is about you just being aware of what's going on here. And I did say on my Sunday live that they are going to study him. They will look for his weaknesses. If his weakness is women, they are going to plant a woman there. And that woman's job is one only. She would have also been paid some millions of rands to accuse Phakelo Mthakathi, to accuse Ngizwe Mchunu, to accuse somebody of something that they didn't do. And the police, they already bought it themselves, that this case must stick. Probably a judge, a magistrate, a judge also will be paid for him to end up being convicted of the crime. Whatever it is that they're planning for him. Now, to get to Phakelo Mthakathi, you need to get to somebody that is closest to him. And now we are seeing videos of a young lady who apparently, this is allegations, this lady, she has a relationship with a member of the JMPD. They have a little bit of a fight. Ngizwe Mchunu, Phakelo Mthakathi, and everybody are here in Johannesburg. And Ngizwe Mchunu takes to the stage and he addresses the attendees, and some musicians are there. And then this lady, for some reason, that's the first question, how did she gain access all the way to Ngizwe Mchunu, and then whispers to Ngizwe Mchunu that there is an inkabi to kill you here. Ngizwe Mchunu takes the mic and says, I hear there's somebody that wants to unalive me. Let them try. And then this lady takes to say, I'm here to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, and I'm not afraid to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. There's a man here that is carrying a gun and he's wearing a blue and white striped jersey. And the camera just go boom at that man. As if all this is staged. So to get to Phakelo Mthakathi, you need to get to what you would call the deputy. When you cut a tree, you don't cut it from the top. You cut it from the bottom. And it falls all the way down. So getting to Ungizwe is getting to Phakelo Mthakathi, because you need to get rid of that influential voice too. Because you must remember that Ngizwe Mchunu is a celebrity, especially in the Zulu perspective. He is a celebrity. He has influence. Phakelo Mthakathi is a leader. Umholi. So usually leaders, they are not up here. They are more about action. Ngizwe Mchunu is in the action after he has first done this, and after taking action, he's also up here, which is something that you need in a battle. So that is exactly what I was saying. But unfortunately, it looks like this strategy, it got botched, because later on, the story comes out that this lady, she is a woman scorned. And it also, because that man they touched him a little bit. People touched him a little bit. But can you imagine if the cameras were not rolling, what we will be talking about today? And then later on, this woman, maybe 10 years down the line, she'll be like, oh, I cannot live with myself anymore. I lied on my boyfriend and I said, Winkabi wants to. And we've seen this story before. There are men in prison today, if not in prison, 6 feet under, because of women like that. And I still say we need a law that takes women like that to prison for the same amount of time had the man been found guilty. If it's 10 years, she goes for 10 years. If it's 15 years, she goes for 15 years. If it's life, she goes for life, so that you curb this sort of crime. We curb it. And people like her, they also diminish the integrity of women that actually do get raped, unalived, beaten, GBV such a situation. They take away that integrity. Now people have to question everything. Another thing that I learned from one of a political leader, okay, I'll talk about that story sometime, who said, if you are a leader, stay away from hotels, stay away from Airbnbs, stay away from anywhere where they will plant a camera and then a woman accidentally walks into your room and she comes out screaming. And he gave me the example, and I'm so sorry, sir. It's a story that I was told also, and I never sleep in a hotel ever since. Alan Busak. You can Google what happened to Alan Busak. He says, what happened to Alan Busak happens to a lot of politicians that are problematic. That means they are for the people and for the people and for the people only. They expose exactly what is happening right now to us in this country. So, Pagelum Tagati, you are offered a hotel room, don't go there. Rather, he said, and it happened many a times, used to sleep on the floor in my living room. On the floor, he said, no, I don't want your bed, I want the floor. A political leader. Everywhere he went, he did not sleep in a hotel. He did not sleep in an Airbnb. He would sleep in a fellow comrade's house on the floor, eat what they eat. Wakes up the following day, goes to a rally, if it's a rally that he has come there for, or to a meeting that he had come there for, and then hops on a flight and goes back to Joburg. So things of that nature, they need to be careful of. They need to be careful of people that are surrounding them. And I'm not talking the leadership, even the leadership itself, because you don't know. No, let me put it this way. Everybody has a price. Everybody has a price. And these people that are feeling that Pagilum Target is a problem, they know this. And they're going to approach them sideways and say, hey, sidebar. So how much would it take for you to stop your man? The story of King Shaka Zulu, who unalived him. Yeah. So that's how it goes. That's just how it goes. And I'm worried. I don't want to lie. So that means Umzabalazo itself is jeopardized. Umzabalazo itself is jeopardized. And I hope I am wrong. But highly likely I'm not. I may not. Highly likely I'm right. That's what I'm trying to say. Hi guys. Kunzim. It is hard. Kumatima. But I don't know. We soldier on. Now, on other news. So it's easy for South Africans to be summoned by our government where her own people are unalived. You already know the story. But we don't summon them and give marching orders. Imagine, they gave us marching orders. Guys, the more I think about this, I get upset. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it right now, but just know that we've been summoned again by Ghana. We've been summoned by Nigeria. There's propaganda, of course, about us that Botswana cut off electricity when we are the ones that are providing Botswana with electricity. But anyways, and Tanzania came up to say, stop lying, you people, about South Africa. Because they were making up stories again. So on TikTok, I asked everybody, South Africans, to win this war is to keep quiet and continue being South Africans. Do what we always do. Work in silence. Let our work speak for itself. Rather than engaging ourselves, trying to prove and explain ourselves to them. However, when there's misinformation or propaganda, we must pull out evidence in defense of the honor of the country. You are not responding to anybody. You are just showing the world the lies that are being told about South Africa. For example, Botswana has stopped supplying electricity to South Africa because of xenophobic attacks in South Africa. You know that we never take any electricity from Botswana. I would have understood if they said Lesotho, but with Lesotho, it's water. But Lesotho is also, you could say, they are under us economically. So what you do is you provide the facts. I did that on TikTok. When I saw that, I provided the facts that we don't get supplied with electricity by Botswana, even in the stretch of the imagination. But it's the other way around. And also, they will say something about an African country has closed its borders and chased all companies like Tanzania. No, what you do is you can Google these things and then place them. You are defending the honor of the country. You're not explaining yourself, because when you explain yourself, you get yourself inside these people's lives. They're busy swear at us, and then you come in and you also want to explain no, don't go into their lives no more. The people that are staging those lives, they make money. They make money from the gifts. They make money from wherever the platform is. They make money when you come as a South African there. And when the view comes from South Africa, they make more money. So do not go to their platforms. Don't go defend us, because you're going to try to explain yourself. Oh, gosh. Something is happening as common. So this is disturbing me, honestly. But anyways, okay, guys, maybe this is my cue to leave it here. But let's stop explaining ourselves. Let's stop explaining ourselves. Enough is enough of explaining ourselves to anybody. We know who we are. And let's cut the tap, guys. Let's close the tap. Let's close the tap. Let them talk to each other. Let the blind lead the blind. So all you have to do, I'm going to be showing some videos on my other channel called Clancy's Podcast, to show the world that South Africans, this is what we're actually fighting. I'll let you know when that video is going to be up. I'm still busy compiling it. Anyways, I'll see you later. Goodbye.